Hi, so as some of you may know or may not, if you're not following my Instagram, then do so. But if you are, then you'll know that I have now started my 2023 competition prep. So I'm currently in the first week of my prep, and I thought I'd just run through basically if you've not done this before, you've not competed in bodybuilding, how you might want to start, and just give an insight on how I start my own prep. Every single year that I prep for, this is my third sort of season now, it's always different and we're always learning. So this year, this is what I'm doing, and it's all about sort of tracking what you're doing, seeing, what the changes are and if you need to make any other changes. So seeing how it's going basically and just adapting along the way. So first and foremost, when I'm starting a fat loss phase, I work with a calorie reduction. So I've got an Apple Watch and I've been tracking over the past couple of months what my average expenditure is, and I've also been tracking for the last nearly 1,000 days now how many calories I'm intaking on a daily basis, whether that be in line with what my macros should have been or what my calories should have been, or whether it's over. I still track it anyway. Just it forms a really good habit and it makes you more conscious of what you're eating basically. So I know that my maintenance, I was maintaining my weight at around sort of 2,600 calories a day. So we've dropped me straight into around 2,050 calories a day. Mainly this is through the reduction of sugars, so around no more than 20 grams of sugars a day at the moment from natural things like fruit, berries, vegetables, green leafy vegetables, but very, very little sort of colours in my diet at the moment, just to keep those sugars low. And then also the reduction mainly is through starches. So I'm kind of eating the same as I did in my off season, the same foods that suit my body, that I work well on, that my energy runs well on, but just eating less of it. So things like oats, potatoes, butternut squash, vegetables. So all these things I work really well on, rice, just simple staple bodybuilding food basically. And then we've kept my fats at around 70 to 80 grams a day. My body weight is currently 77 kilo and we're working on a 220 gram of protein, which is higher than advised when you look it up on the internet. But the reason we've done that is so that my muscle doesn't sort of drop, basically maintain that muscle and even build a little bit while I'm in these first stages of my competition prep. So number 2 then, I've increased my output on my exercise. So throughout my whole off season I did do fasted cardio. I did half an hour. I just found it really good for my mind and just basically meant I could eat a little bit more because my expenditure was more. So what I've done is increase that intensity on the morning cardio, making sure I'm getting my heart up to around 135 beats per minute for 25 minutes. And then we've also added in an extra half hour session on an evening, and this is just simply, both of those are simply walking, either on the treadmill or outside. So we've increased that calorie expenditure and burn just to put me more in of a deficit. So in terms of calorie reduction, we're looking at around a 500 calorie deficit. Adding that extra intensity in the cardio and then adding an extra cardio session in every day, you're looking at around an extra 200 to 300 calories burnt on top of that calorie reduction. So as you can see there, that's quite a big sort of deficit I'm now in, even on a rest day. So number 3 then, I've introduced some new supplements for this prep. The first time I've ever tried this one, but that's for the berberine here. So this is by a company called Super Botanics, who are UK based, and basically in a nutshell, berberine just helps with regulating blood sugar. So because I'm on a lower carb diet at the moment, it means that I'm less likely to get a dip. So this is a natural supplement. Everything that I take is natural because I'm a natural bodybuilder, but it just helps with the dip in energy. So I tend to like load my carb meals for breakfast in the morning after cardio. Then I have about 10 grams of carbs in my second meal, so it's very, very low, minimal. Lunchtime, sort of meal free, tend to like peak it up a little bit and then ramp it up a little bit before I train on an evening. After training, keep it nice and high. Last meal, no carbs at all. But in terms of supplements, I've also included or incorporated L-carnitine now. Also, I've upped my CQ10, so that's now twice a day. I was previously only taking that once a day, so that helps with brain function and energy levels. And I've also increased my B12. That's again for energy levels. So both these help, and these are from Barefoot Nutrition, who sponsor me and who've been supporting me for the last couple of years. So these are really good products and really good quality. The fourth thing I'm doing this year is I'm not having any off-plan meals at all for at least the first 4 weeks until I feel I've made a good amount of progress. If I am honest and transparent with you, I've put on a little bit of, probably a little bit of body fat in the last sort of 6 weeks, and also a little bit of water weight as I've just come off holiday. So I just want to get back to where I was about sort of February time this year. Currently I'm 77 kilo and I want to get down to like a solid 74, 73 before I even start to think about having any refeeds, any off-plan meals. Yes, that sort of might be too hard for some people, but I've got bigger goals in mind than just eating that meal, so I'm okay with that. Number 5 then, I'm actually trying to drink more water, so more H2O, however you want to put it, but getting those fluids in. Water in equals water out. So as I mentioned, I've just been on holiday, I'm holding a bit of water weight and bit of inflammation from indulging in some foods that I wouldn't normally have, like ice cream and pizza and a carvery and some alcohol in there as well. So I just want to flush my system through, hydrate my body. The better hydrated you are, more energy you'll have, the better your body just runs in general. Your skin will be better, everything just sort of is more efficient. And it metabolizes your fat as well. But the last thing I'm sort of doing to kick off this prep with a big bang, if you like, is I'm trying to get a better routine. I will admit that, you know, I'm quite a routine orientated person. However, it had slipped a little bit. You know, it's like, oh, it's okay if I'm an hour late for my meal or whatever, if I've got work commitments or whatever else. But I've set a routine now, I've written it down, which I think is a real key thing. And I'm trying to stick to that. I've put an alarm on my phone for all my meals. It's non-negotiable whether I get up at the same time of day. If I've got work or I haven't got work, I'm getting up at the same time of day and trying to get more rest, so getting to bed earlier. So I've actually brought my training forward into sort of about an hour or two earlier in the day now. So then that allows me to have maybe an hour's downtime before I do my cardio at night, before my last meal. So yeah, obviously that's quite intense to be doing 3 sort of training sessions a day. But I do believe it's possible if you are organised and if you time block things like meals, work and workouts around it, and just be prepared for the next day. Get your food done and prep for a couple of days at a time. It makes it a whole lot easier. So if you're looking to start your competition prep journey soon, I hope that helps give you an understanding of how I do it. For more content like this and to follow my competition prep journey, just hit subscribe and like this video and follow along for more.